high blood pressure. Hello and welcome everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most common, yet most underestimated health problems of our time. High blood pressure, also known as hypertension. Billions of people across the world are living with it, and the surprising fact is that many of them don't even know they have it. Doctors often call it the silent killer, and there's a very good reason for that. It creeps up quietly without showing obvious signs, and by the time you realize it, it may have already caused serious damage to your body. So what exactly is high blood pressure? How does it happen? What symptoms should you watch out for? And most importantly, what can you do about it? Stay with me till the end of this video, because this information could save your life or the life of someone you love. Let's begin with the basics. When your heart beats, it pumps blood through a network of blood vessels called arteries. As the blood flows, it exerts pressure against the walls of these arteries. This is what we call blood pressure. Now, blood pressure is completely normal and necessary. Without it, blood wouldn't circulate. The problem begins when this pressure stays too high for too long. When that happens, we call it high blood pressure or hypertension. To make it easier to visualize, think of it like a water pipe. If you push water through the pipe with a little pressure, it flows smoothly, and everything works fine. But if the pressure inside that pipe keeps increasing, the walls of the pipe may weaken over time, and eventually the pipe could burst or leak. The same thing happens inside your body. Constantly high pressure damages your arteries and strains important organs like your heart, your brain, your kidneys, and even your eyes. Blood pressure is usually measured using two numbers. You've probably heard something like 120/80. The first number, the higher one, is called systolic pressure. It shows the pressure in your arteries when your heart contracts and pumps blood out. The second number, the lower one, is called diastolic pressure. It represents the pressure when your heart relaxes between beats. For example, a reading of 120/80 is considered normal. But if your blood pressure consistently measures 140/90 or higher, most doctors would say you have hypertension. These days, checking your blood pressure has become much easier. You don't always need to go to a clinic. Digital blood pressure monitors are widely available, and you can measure it at home, which is very helpful for early detection. Now, hypertension is not the same for everyone. Doctors generally classify it into two main types. The first one is called primary or essential hypertension. This is the most common type, and the exact cause isn't always known. It usually develops gradually over many years, influenced by factors like aging, lifestyle habits, such as eating too much salty food, lack of exercise, obesity, or family history. The second type is called secondary hypertension. As the name suggests, this happens because of another medical condition. For example, kidney disease, thyroid, or hormonal disorders, or even the side effects of certain medications can cause your blood pressure to rise. There are also special cases, such as isolated systolic hypertension, which is more common in older adults. In this condition, only the top number, the systolic pressure, is high, while the bottom number may remain normal. The real problem with high blood pressure is that most of the time it doesn't show clear symptoms. This is why it's called the silent killer. Many people walk around with dangerously high blood pressure, but feel perfectly fine. Sometimes, however, there are warning signs. People may experience frequent headaches, especially in the morning. They may feel dizzy, have blurred vision, or notice their heart racing. Some might feel tired all the time or experience unusual anxiety and restlessness. But here's the catch. These symptoms are not specific, and they don't appear in every person. By the time such symptoms become noticeable, blood pressure may already be very high and potentially causing damage. That's why routine checkups are so important. Even if you feel healthy, measuring your blood pressure once in a while is a simple step that could make a huge difference. If hypertension is left untreated, it can lead to very serious complications. Let's go through some of them. First and foremost, high blood pressure is one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease. It can cause the arteries to harden and narrow, a condition called atherosclerosis, which increases the risk of heart attack. It can also make your heart work harder than normal, leading to conditions like heart failure or an enlarged heart. Another major risk is stroke. When the blood vessels in the brain are damaged by long-term high pressure, they may either become blocked or rupture, leading to a stroke. Kidney failure is also strongly linked to hypertension. Because the kidney's job is to filter waste from the blood, they depend on healthy blood vessels. High blood pressure can damage these vessels, gradually reducing kidney function and sometimes leading to kidney failure. The eyes are not safe either. High blood pressure can damage the delicate blood vessels in the retina, the part of the eye that senses light, causing vision problems or even blindness in severe cases. So it's not just about the heart. Hypertension affects the whole body. The good news, however, is that high blood pressure can be managed. In fact, in its early stages, it can often be controlled without medication, simply by making healthier lifestyle choices. Let's talk about some of the most effective strategies. First, maintaining a healthy weight is crucial. Extra weight puts extra strain on your heart and blood vessels. Losing even a few pounds can make a noticeable difference. Second, diet plays a huge role. Reducing salt intake is one of the simplest yet most effective changes you can make. Salt causes the body to retain water, which increases blood pressure. Replacing processed, salty foods with fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains is highly beneficial. Third, regular physical activity is essential. You don't need to run marathons. Even 30 minutes of brisk walking most days of the week can significantly lower your blood pressure. Avoiding harmful habits is equally important. Smoking damages the arteries and speeds up the process of atherosclerosis, while excessive alcohol intake raises blood pressure. Cutting back or quitting these habits makes a big difference. Another key factor is stress. Modern life is full of stress, but finding ways to manage it through relaxation techniques, meditation, or simply taking time to rest can help keep your blood pressure in check. Sleep is also critical. Not getting enough sleep or having poor quality sleep increases the risk of hypertension. Ensuring you get at least 7 to 8 hours of good rest every night can support your overall health. Of course, there are times when lifestyle changes alone aren't enough. If your blood pressure remains high, your doctor may prescribe medications. There are different types of medicines like diuretics, beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, calcium channel blockers, and each works in a different way to reduce pressure. The goal of these medicines is not to cure hypertension completely, because for many people it's a lifelong condition, but rather to keep it under control and prevent complications. The important thing is to follow the treatment plan consistently and not stop medication on your own just because you feel better. Hypertension doesn't go away overnight. It needs long-term management. So to summarize this part of our discussion, high blood pressure may sound like a common condition, but it is far from harmless. It is a serious risk factor for heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and vision loss. It often shows no symptoms until it has already caused damage, which is why it is so important to check your blood pressure regularly. The good news is that by making simple changes, such as eating healthier, staying active, reducing salt, avoiding smoking and alcohol, managing stress, and getting enough sleep, you can significantly reduce your risk. And if needed, medications can provide additional control. Remember, taking care of your blood pressure is not just about numbers on a machine. It's about protecting your heart, your brain, your kidneys, your eyes, and ultimately your entire quality of life. If you've never had your blood pressure checked, make it a point to do so. If you already know you have high blood pressure, take it seriously. Don't ignore it, don't delay treatment, and don't underestimate it. Prevention and control are much easier than dealing with the consequences later on. And that brings us to the end of today's first part of the video on hypertension. We've covered what high blood pressure is, how it's measured, the different types, the symptoms, the dangers of leaving it untreated, and the basics of how to manage it. In the next part, we'll go even deeper into practical lifestyle tips, home remedies, diet plans, and answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about hypertension, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And in the comments, let me know, do you or someone in your family struggle with high blood pressure? What steps are you taking to manage it? Your experience could inspire others who are watching. Take care of yourself, keep an eye on your health, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.